Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. This is MahfuzVanGogh, your dredge guy, and today we are back to modern. Yes, let's be creative and try to build the best dredge deck in modern. But this is not what you may think. Last time we tried to build a Phoenix Dredge in modern, something really explosive that sometimes can even win on turn 2. We did this. This was our last attempt to build this idea in modern. And this is not what we will play today. But I want to compare what we have today with this build so you can understand better what we are trying to improve in this idea. So, last time we had 4 copies of Bloodghast. Bloodghast is a beautiful creature because it can enter with haste, especially if you have Life from the Loam. This usually is trivial to get Bloodghast at some point of the game. But Modern, these days, has so many token decks. Energy decks can put several cats, but not only energy decks, even artifact decks. We have so many tokens running around. And if you're not running Wonder in your deck to get flying, so your creatures can fly above all of the tokens, it is really difficult to hit with Bloodghast. Every now and then I have 2, 3, 4 copies of Bloodghast, but I cannot attack with them because my opponent can block. And this deck tries to be explosive. So we don't want to hit our opponent with Bloodghast on turn 8. Usually you want to be faster than that. So in our new updated Phoenix Dredge, I will not include Bloodghast anymore. What else? We had 12 dredgers. It is important to have 12 dredgers instead of 11 because we really dig or dredge deep into our deck to find Arclight Phoenix. But we had only 2 copies of Life from the Loam. And this was just a small splash, a little splash to green to include Life from the Loam. We had no green cards in our deck, and this is something that I also want to improve this time. And we also had this small splash to blue to include Otherworldly Gaze and Cephalid Coliseum. Both are great cards, but if you want to have 2 different small splashes, like Life from the Loam, Otherworldly Gaze, the mana base was a little too clunky for me. The deck worked, but some months later when I tried to run again, the metagame did change a lot in 6 months, and the mana base was a little bit too clunky. Cephalic Coliseum is not so good in this deck actually because it is not a spell, right? And if you had Cephalic Coliseums, you cannot sacrifice them to Lava Darts. So it is hard to justify having a land that you will just sacrifice for a good effect, of course, but then you have less lands to cast new spells, and this deck is mana hungry. And our sideboard was okay for that time, for that moment. Silent Gravestone was good at that moment. But it was a little bit too reactive for my taste now, at least now. And you know, guys, sometimes you have a great idea, you have a great experience in life, not only in Magic the Gathering, but you need to step back a little bit just to let your mind, your unconscious, work a little bit, and then you come back and things are just better. You have better ideas to improve your first attempt. And this is the case. I'm super confident to show you what I will show you now. Ta-da! This building. Well, JUND Phoenix Dredge. Let's go JUND. With extra green spells, Boseiju who endures instead of Cephalid Coliseum, and Witherbloom Command instead of Otherworldly Gaze. Well, and Conflagrate instead of Bloodghast. So now we have 3 copies of Life from the Loam to get more and more lands, and we have 19 lands instead of 18. The mana base is so much better, and we can include Boseiju because we have 4 copies of Mana Confluence. This is my only doubt here, because Mana Confluence is not a mountain, so we have only 5 mountains here. But considering that we have more copies of Life from the Loam and even Witherbloom Command that can get back some lands from your graveyard, I believe we will probably be fine. Maybe we could try 1 basic mountain here instead of the 4th Mana Confluence. But I had 2 test leagues, not exactly with this list here. In my first league, I tried to include Witherbloom Command, but I had no Boseijus and no Conflagrates. And then I had Conflagrates and Boseiju, but only Life from the Loam instead of Dark Blast. I missed Dark Blast sometimes. So this will be my first run with these 75 cards. And I'm feeling confident, guys. I'm really feeling confident on this. Sometimes I tell you at the beginning of my videos, well, I'm not so confident on this, but this is just a test. This time I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm telling you here before the video. So maybe we will not do a great result. We have no idea what's going to happen. But from my experience playing this deck, previously, this is probably our best attempt to build a competitive Phoenix Dredge in Legacy. Keep in mind that Arclight Phoenix is great in this deck. We can dig Dredge really deep to find our Phoenixes, but we can also win with just a Giant Conflagrate plus Witherbloom Command, which can drain 2 life from your opponent, and Creeping Chills and Lava Darts. So sometimes, if your opponent has something like Surgical Extraction, or, well, you can still win the game. What about the sideboard? On our previous attempt to run Phoenix Dredge, we had Leyline of the Void, but Surgical Extraction is a free spell, right? So maybe we can run Surgicals to speed up a little bit our Phoenixes. Collector Oof seems amazing in this metagame because everyone is running so many artifacts, and we can also destroy them with Ancient Grudge. We have 2 copies of Lightning Axe, 2 creatures of course, and also 4 copies of Thoughtseize, especially against combos or control decks. That's pretty much it. Boseiju is probably pretty good in this deck because you can get it back with Life from Below, and I believe our mana base will be better this time. I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling pretty much awake, but maybe I need just a little bit coffee to start this league. But I'm so excited to put this together, so I'll not even make my initial coffee. let's just start this league right now. Click like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below if you're also excited to see JUND Phoenix Dredge in action. Let's do it. Round 1, we are paired against ATXroy. And this is an interesting hand, but I don't think we'll keep it. 2 Creeping Chills are... No, this is not good either. 2 Creeping Chills in our starting hand is not good. We can keep that. We are on the draw. We don't need Phoenix in our starting hand, and probably not 2 Loams. Triple Burning Inquiry can be pretty explosive, but we need to reach our second land. We have 19 lands in this build. My opponent has Bloodstained Mire and Steam Vents. Darcy, so probably a Prowess deck maybe? Or a Tempo deck. Commercial District is a great draw actually, because I don't want to cast Burning Inquiry immediately. I would like to keep this Stomping Ground on top, I think. We could mill this and then surveil this to our graveyard and then grab it with Life from the Loam. But in case my opponent counters my Life from the Loam, I want to guarantee our third land on turn 3. And maybe you can cast triple Burning Inquiry. My opponent has Cory Steelcutter. Surveils Darcy to the graveyard. Okay, this is a slow start for my opponent playing Prowess. But they can build an army out of nowhere. So let's be quick here. Since we are on the draw, maybe... Well, this was a mulligan to 5, so let's not complain. Blood Crypt, untapped, and I'll put my treasure in my graveyard and grab another land. If you have more lands in our hand, this will be better to not discard the other sorceries when we cast our first Burning Inquiry. My opponent plays land and Expressive Iteration. This is a little bit scary. Hopefully my opponent will not have an artifact this turn. Arid Mesa, Basic Mounting, and another Darcy. Alright, so my opponent's token will have haste, but Darcy is still a 1-1. My opponent is down to 13, and we are also on 13 life. Let's dredge. Okay, we have our Phoenix, our Dart, but we don't have other dredgers there. Yeah, this was a little bit too slow. Let's see. My opponent has 4 cards in their hand, so that's pretty scary. I'll get my Stomping Ground, and let's get some more lands. We could try to cast Inquiry into Inquiry here, but since we have Lava Dart and several lands, I think this will be probably better. Maybe we can reach other Phoenix here. Dredge, Dredge, and Dredge. Great. 2 Chills are good. We are back to 16 life. My opponent discarded several good spells there. And now we can kill my opponent's Darcy here and get 1 Phoenix back. We are back to 16. Can we attack here? Maybe this is a race. Let's try to attack. My opponent discarded 3 spells there. 2 creatures and 1 Preordain. Maybe they cannot kill us here. Let's see. Monastery Swift Spear. Lightning Bolt, ooh, that's scary. Another token. Prowess triggers. Lava Dart. Oh no. My opponent will have lethal. They had Lava Dart on top and another Lightning Bolt. Okay. Yeah, and because of Lava Dart and Lightning Bolt, it will not matter to keep Arclight Phoenix on defense because my opponent could kill our Phoenix and then cast Lava Dart from their graveyard and win anyways. Yeah, this deck is so explosive, guys. That's why I told you in the past, let's see, that we need to be explosive as well. Traditional dredge builds are not that explosive compared to what we have these days. 8 years ago, they were. 7 years ago, they were explosive. Dredge was one of the most explosive decks in Modern Magic. But unfortunately, these days, we need to be a little bit more creative. Let's just include 2 Lightning Axe instead of 1 Conflagrate and 1 Reunion. We are on the play now. This is better. This is so much better for us. And I think I will have my glasses this game. Okay, this is just too slow, right? Let's... Oh, no lands. Come on, deck. Come on. Let's go to 5 again. Okay, this is better. We have 2 removal spells. We need to put 2 cards back. And we need to draw a second land. We don't need Phoenix here. And I think I'll put Stink with Imp back, because we probably need to keep some removals here to have a chance against Prowess. Oh, my opponent also had a mulligan to 5. So we want lands, right? So let's cast Faithless Looting first. First things first. Okay, we hit a land. Let's discard Dark Blast and Lightning Axe. Burning Inquiry is probably better here since we hit 2. Considering what we drew, it would be better to keep Stink with Imp in our hand, but you never know what's on top. Now, Steam Vents for my opponent in Preordain. We like that. Well, my opponent had a mulligan to 5, so it will be slower this time. 1 on top, 1 on bottom. Oh, Termite Script. And my opponent immediately sacrificed it. Okay, looting on top. Let's cast looting first. Let's believe in our deck. Oh, no dredgers yet. Command is good. Let's discard 1 inquiry, 1 command. Command can even kill 1 Darcy or something. And this Artemisa will be probably our surveil land. Sacred Foundry for my opponent. Okay, my opponent is just plotting Slick Shot Show Off. Let's crack Artemisa for Commercial District. Surveying a dredger? No, a land. But land is good. Now we can cast Witherbloom Command and Burning Inquiry. Actually, you can grab a land from our graveyard with Witherbloom Command, right? And my opponent's probably not casting Force of Negation and something like that. So, okay, looting on top. Let's cast Command first, draining 2 life from my opponent and getting 1 land back. And this is our first spell. Creeping Chill is good. No dredgers yet. Our opponent exiled our Dark Blast and we are 16 cards deep here. Let's get Mana Confluence this time. Actually, maybe this was a mistake. I tried to save some points of life here, but we need mountains, right? To cast several lava darts. We have only 1 now. Okay, now we have dredgers. 1 dredger. Let's pass a turn. Next turn we have more things going on. My opponent has 4 cards in their hand. 3 cards now, Artemisa for a basic mountain. We don't have basics in this build. And I told you at the intro that I think that maybe we could include a basic island in our deck instead of the 4th Mana Confluence. The thing is, I just want to... This is my first run here with this new build, and I want to be Dredge 5 redundant with my choices on the mana base. Now what? We could get really lucky here with Life from the Loam. We don't have Ox in this build. We have spells. Maybe we can get lucky here. Maybe it would be better to just cast looting, but let's try to be lucky here. We'll dredge 5, 4, and now 3. I want to keep this Loam in my hand. Oh no, it worked. Let's get 3 lands. I don't want to fetch too many lands now. We probably don't want to pay that much life. So I'm paying life here with Mana Confluence. Yep. We don't have Lava Darts yet, though. Our 4 darts are shy this game. So let's just play Wooded Foothills and pass. We still have Shock Lands to fetch. My opponent plays a Swift Spear. Oh, Violent Urge. Is my opponent killing me here? Oh no. Prowess. 2, 4, 6. No, only 10 damage. Oof. And now my opponent has only 1 card in their hand. It is not Lightning Bolt, because if it was Bolt, my opponent would have lethal here. So it is probably just a land. It is not a creature. Let's get our Blood Crypt. My opponent is down to 9. We have a chance to win this turn. Let's see. We have 1 Conflagrate, Dredge 5, Lava Dart. Alright. So we can cast Looting and then Loam if we don't hit Conflagrate. Yeah, this is probably better. Let's tap 3. Maybe we can just hit our second dart. Okay, my opponent conceded. Oh. Yeah, because we had 3 Phoenixes there and they would come back this turn. We had lethal with Lava Dart, Loam, and Faithful. But this was so close. We both had mulligans to 5, so this wasn't an explosive game for my opponent or for me, but we managed to win. Do we change anything? I don't think so. Let's just submit. This is probably already good. Okay, I think this is a keep. I don't like to have Creeping Chill in my starting hand against this deck, but we have a removal spell, we have one of our best enablers, we even have Arclight Phoenix in our hand, so we can discard it. And since we are on the draw, it is good to have removals. My opponent had a Darcy, we draw. Oh, Lava Dart! Even better, we can save our Lightning Axe for the future. So, on the other hand, we will not put... let's think here for a moment. If I cast Axe, we can immediately put a Dredger in our graveyard. But Lightning Axe can kill better... Okay, let's kill this creature before my opponent draws another card. Let's kill it with Lava Dart. Because they will probably put a second creature this turn. And if they don't, that's fine. We can still just cast Cathartic Reunion next turn. My opponent cracks Aridimisa for Steam Vents. Oh, just plotting Show Off. Alright. So this will be a Cathartic Reunion. Oh, another land is pretty good. Let's crack Bloodstained Mire. We have 2 cards to discard anyway, so Stomping Ground here. Or First Mountain. And I will cast Cathartic Reunion, discarding Phoenix and Thug. Dredge 4. Dredge 3, Loam is pretty good. Oh, and Dredge 5. And we even have Dark Blast there. Creeping Chill is here. Oh, we have 2 darts. No, this will be just too aggressive, right? Oh, and we don't have 2 mountains, forget it. So, next turn we'll have something pretty good. We have 2 darts, Loam, Lightning Axe, yeah. So let's pass the turn. This was our turn 2. This is turn 3, and my opponent still has no creatures in play. They will probably cast that Show Off this turn, though. Maybe Core Steel Cutter and the Show Off. Scouting turn for my opponent. Cracks it for a basic mountain, alright. My opponent is thinking. Maybe they have different lines. They have a plotted Show Off. Okay, Core Steel Cutter, and the Show Off. And my opponent still has 1 mana floating, 1 mana available. Just a Swift Spear. Okay, we are live. But my opponent... Oh, my opponent has only 1 card in their hands, so... Let's see. We will dredge 5. We could dredge 1 here, but my opponent's creatures are bigger than that right now. Looting is good. Okay, we can get a Phoenix back this turn with Loam X Lava Dart. This is guaranteed. Or we could try to survive naturally for a single turn, since my opponent has only 1 card in their hand. And just cast Looting. But I think it is probably better to cast Loam X and Dart here. Because we lost game 1 because we were too much confident. Let's try again. Blood Crypt. Yeah, I don't want... Yeah, let's grab only Confluences here. I don't want to... No, I think we need more mountains, right? If we hit another Lava Dart, for example. So 1 mana Confluence, 1 Blood Crypt, and 1 fetch. Yeah. Remember, guys, I'm playing this for the very first time here. These 75 cards. So there will be surprises this league. Now what? We have 9 cards in our hand. We don't have basics here, so every fetch will deal 3 damage to us if you want to have some action on the same turn. Let's kill the Show Off, discarding our Stinkwood Imp. And since now we have several mountains, we can deal 1 damage to my opponent, sacrificing Stomping Ground here. Black mana can be useful. And our Phoenix can wait on defense. Next turn we can cast Faithless Looting and at least 1 Lava Dart. My opponent preordains. This is so close because my opponent has only 1 card in their hand. They will have 2 cards after this spell. So probably not enough to kill us even without Arclight Phoenix. Another Core, alright. My opponent kept 1 card on top. No other lands. This is good. Oh, we'll definitely block this Smoke Token here. And we'll go down to 6. And now we need to chain spells again. Let's start by dredging. We don't have Loam in our hand. But I think I will just try to win, guys. Okay, we have a second Lava Dart and a Creeping Chill. So we need to find 2 other Phoenixes here to win this turn. Or maybe 1 more Chill. Let's crack Wooded Foothills and ouch, grab our last Blood Crypt and cast Looting. Looting resolves, we'll dredge 5. Another Phoenix is good, and dredge 4. Another Phoenix, alright. So we have lethal, right? We won. We won. On the draw against Prowess. This was so good. I want to say thank you to all my patrons that you can see here on this page. Guys, you are awesome. And I can create content because of your continuous support. If you also want to help me as a content creator, please go there, check my Patreon page, patreon.com/thedredgeguy. See you there. Oh, alright guys, this is our best hand so far. We have a beautiful sequence here and even 1 Arclight Phoenix in our starting hand, and Witherbloom Command can be really good, but we are on the draw. We have a removal spell for our X1 creature, and another one if we need. Yeah, this is a beautiful hand. So let's see what my opponent is playing. Darksteel Citadel, so one of the broken artifact decks that Modern says, oh, Burning Inquiry for next turn. So let's start with Blood Crypt and Faithless Looting. It resolved quickly, so I'm not expecting Force of Negation. 2 Dredgers in the bin, and let's see what's going on. Urza Saga. Oh, Cranial Plating. So my opponent... okay, they don't have hasty creatures, I think, so this seems like a slow start. We have 2 Dredgers in our graveyard. So let's play Bloodstained Mire, crack it for a Stomping Ground. And I will just play a Cathartic Reunion. And then next turn we can have Witherbloom Command and Burning Inquiry. So Dredge 5. Oh, another Phoenix, Dredge 4. Dark Blast, Lava Dart, okay, Dredge, 4. 1 chill. Another Phoenix. We already have 3 Phoenixes in our graveyard. And my opponent's Saga is on 1. So we can win. Next turn. Shivan Reef. Memnite, alright. It doesn't fly. Okay, my opponent's plan seems to be just create a construct. So let's grab Loam. It doesn't matter too much because I don't want to... Well, let's take Dark Blast because we can always kill a Memnite in the future. And we'll cast Witherbloom Command. Let's see. We can destroy some artifacts here, but we already have 3 Phoenixes. Do I try to destroy something here? Shadow Spear is scary. But if we will resolve Burning Inquiry here, we have so many good chances to just win the game this turn. We already have 3 Phoenixes, only 1 chill. So 2 chills, my opponent goes down to 11. 2 darts, 9. If we hit 1 dart and 2 chills with this, we have lethal here. And my opponent's creature will probably not have haste. So let's cast command first. Oh, chill 1. I think I'll take Boseiju, but I don't think we'll need Boseiju. Maybe if everything goes wrong and my opponent can destroy some of our creatures or maybe counter this Burning Inquiry. Okay, it's resolving. Dredge 5. Another chill, great. Dredge 3. Conflagrate, Lava Dart. Okay, Dredge 3. We have 2 darts. Yeah, we have lethal. We have lethal, guys. This is turn 3. A turn 3 Goldfish. We need only 1 Lava Dart here. Let's sacrifice Blood Crypt. Our opponent's down to 8. And 3 Phoenixes coming. We have another Lava Dart at our disposal. Can my opponent do something about it? No, we won. Okay, we won against one of the strongest decks in Modern. Now what? Collector Oof seems amazing in this matchup. This is why I have 3 copies of Collector Oof in my sideboard. Conflagrate is probably expendable here. 1 Loam, 1 command on the draw. Probably both Conflagrates. I don't think we'll need them to win. If we stick a Collector Oof, it will be so much better for us than holding Conflagrate. And my opponent has blue. They might have counter spells. So let's try like that. Oh, this hand is pretty good. We just need more lands, but we have answers to 1, 2, 3, 4 artifacts. Plus Loam in case we find a Boseiju. I like this hand. We don't have threats yet, but this is a good defensive hand for game 2 on the draw. Let's test Witherbloom Command. My opponent also kept 7. Where's the Saga? So we can expect Graveyard Hate by turn 3. Oh no, turn 1. Tormod Script. So we'll draw Phoenix. Part of me wants to slow roll this to a Surveil land, but I don't think my opponent will immediately crack that Tormod Script, right? Yeah, let's try to do things slow here. My opponent, Urza Saga, will probably not create constructs this game. Darksteel Citadel, unless they have Mox Opal. And my opponent is passing, great. So let's crack Scouting Tarn for our Surveil land. We have a Boseiju, we'll keep that on top. Unfortunately, as mana. Let's play it, and let's pass. We have different lines here. We could cast Loam, but let's see what my opponent will grab with that Urza Saga first. We have Ancient Grudge here, and we have green mana. Okay, Grafdigger's Cage. My opponent wants to be safe. Shivan Reef. So usually for a Dredge deck in Modern or Legacy, this scenario would be pretty bad, right? But see our hand. See our hand. We have the tools to win this. Unless my opponent gets a fast clock here. They are thinking. Saga tapped for mana, so they have 1 mana floating. Mishra's Bubble, alright. My opponent is thinking a lot. I think they might have a Kappa Cannoneer here, so they don't want to tap Tormod Script. Let's take that opportunity to destroy Grafdigger's Cage here. So the fact that my opponent is finally dropping several 0 artifacts, it smells like Kappa here. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, my opponent is tapping Tormod Script here. Yeah, and it is Kappa. Either way, I don't think we will let that Tormod Script stay there for long, right? But we have an Ancient Grudge with a flashback, and we have 3 mana. Let's think here. We can cast Witherbloom Command, we can cast Ancient Grudge. We can start with Faithless Looting to see if we hit something else. We could destroy 2 artifacts. Mishra's Bubble is tapped. Mishra's Bubble is card advantage for my opponent. Blood Crypt. Let's cast Witherbloom Command here. Milling and destroy. We mill, and we destroy Tormod Script. Tap in Boseiju and Blood Crypt. Oh, Force of Negation, Exiling Thought Monitor. Oh, so destroying Grafdigger's Cage was a huge play last turn, because my opponent would have mana available to cast Thought Monitor after Kappa. So, okay, now my opponent doesn't have Graveyard Hate anymore, and next turn will be probably pretty good. We have 1 Phoenix, we have Witherbloom Command. Unfortunately, we cannot kill Kappa. We would need 6 mana to do that. No, actually no, because Witherbloom Command cannot destroy non-creature permanents, and it's pretty expensive. For a moment, I thought that Witherbloom Command was Assassin's Trophy, but it is not. It has its limitations. Okay, my opponent has Spinacle Emissary. Oh, just to trigger Kappa? Alright, so my opponent has 0. Yeah, sure, my opponent is Hellbent. We are down to 10. We need some Creeping Chills this turn. Another land, not bad. So Witherbloom Command can drain. I don't think we need to kill Ornithopter here. We have Lava Dart, but let's drain here. So we can take another Kappa hit. It's an insurance. And then we can mill... Oh, no dredgers yet. But... Alright, we have more lands. Lava Dart is there. I'll cast Looting here. Can you wait? Just cast Life from the Loam. I think we can wait. Let's try to hit something here. Oh, Collector Oath. Well, maybe it's just too late, but we have 2 Phoenixes now. No dredgers though. I don't think my opponent will kill us from here. They have a Kappa, but their Kappa is a 6/6, maybe 7/7 or 8/8 next turn. So we can probably get our Phoenixes going here. Let's cast Lava Dart targeting my opponent. So Phoenixes are here. Let's attack. This can be a race, guys. This can be a race between our Phoenixes and my opponent's Kappa Cannoneer on the play. We have a Collector Oath, but unless... Well, Collector Oath is good to avoid Darksteel Citadel's mana, right? Yeah, actually, Oath can be pretty huge here if my opponent has artifacts that cost more mana. So we draw Stinkwood Wimp. So we have 5 mana here. We can cast Looting, we can cast Loam, we can cast Oath, and also Lava Dart. Do we have lethal somehow? No. If we kill Ornithopter here, we can deal 6 damage. We still don't have dredgers. My opponent has lethal. So we might do our best here to avoid being killed by Kappa Cannoneer. So we need to resolve Collector Oath this turn. And maybe kill Ornithopter. So my opponents don't have artifact to have the ability to cast something with Affinity. So many lines here. Looting, discard, dredgers, cast Oath, cast both Lava Darts, killing Ornithopter is something that we can do. Or maybe we can draw something with our looting. Let's see. My opponent has 2 cards in their hand. They might have another Force of Negation plus blue spell. Yeah? Oh no! I was counting on that. So now what? Life is a resource, right? Let's go down to 1, guys. Let's go down to 1. And this is because my opponent is Hellbent again. And yeah, life is just a resource. Let's grab a Blood Crypt. Untapped. Ouch. Down to 1. Almost dead. And I'll play Collector Oath. Is in play. So my opponent has 1 mana available. Let's attack with 1 Arclight Phoenix. Because next turn we can... If my opponent attacks with Kappa Cannoneer, we can block with Arclight Phoenix unless they have a 0 or 1 mana artifact on top of their deck. And I think I'll wait to cast those Lava Darts. Oh, only land. My opponent cannot attack. Oh, they thought they had the mana to cast Pinnacle, but they cannot tap Darksteel Citadel. Collector Wolf was huge here. No, you cannot attack my opponent. You can't attack. We have lethal now, guys. We won. Okay, let's do the right thing here. But we have lethal here for sure. With 1 point of life. We just need Loam, 2 Lava Darts. Arclight Phoenix comes back, and we have lethal, yeah? Well, we would have lethal anyways. We don't need Collector Wolf to win here, right? We could just cast 3... Yeah, maybe my opponent was right in attacking, but since they revealed the basic island before, we knew for sure that it was okay to just block and we would have lethal. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's kill the blocker, and we'll deal 8 damage to my opponent. Attack with all creatures, and we won. Guys, I wasn't expecting that to be that easy.
That was easy.
It was easy. So let's go to our next match. Round 3, we are on the play against Lobato. Oh, this hand. Can we gamble with it? No, let's mulligan. I think we can have more solid hands. Okay, now we have a turn 1 Surveil Land, turn 2 Burning Inquiry Lava Dart. Let's try like that. We have 2 lands. Wooded Foothills and pass. My opponent draws and... My opponent kept 7. Oh, Sunken Citadel. Choosing white. I'm not familiar with decks playing this, so this might be a control deck or a combo deck? Not sure. Commercial District. I don't think we need Conflagrate against my opponent's deck. Not in our hand, for sure. Phoenix. So I'll play Blood Crypt here, untapped. But I will not cast a Lava Dart yet. Let's just cast Burning Inquiry first. And then we can understand my opponent's deck. Okay, it's resolved. Oh, Karn and Wrath of the Sky. So this is mono-white control artifacts. Something like that. And a Plains. We discarded our Cathartic Reunion, Arclight Phoenix, Lava Dart. So we could here bring back 1 Arclight Phoenix, but I think it is too soon for that. Let's wait 1 more turn. We don't have good things to do next turn. Field of Ruin. Oh, my opponent can activate Field of Ruin, tap in Sunken Citadel because it's an activated ability. Okay. Maybe you should. No, my opponent probably have... We are not playing basics here, and my opponent probably have more removal. right? They are playing mono white. And we don't have basics. Maybe we should include a basic mountain in our deck. Maybe. Okay, let's see. We'll draw. Creeping Chill, our worst draw in our entire deck. Well, we have a Conflagrate. So now we can cast Conflagrate, targeting my opponent. This is like a suicidal approach, but I think it is what we can do here, right? Let's deal 4 damage to my opponent. I don't think we'll do much better than that. It's our only chance to win. We discard everything. And now we'll cast 2 Lava Darts. We will be Hellbent without lands. So my opponent's next Field of Ruin will have no targets. And now we have 2 Arclight Phoenix. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have removal spells, but they have 7 cards in their hand. If it's Wrath of the Skies, we have a chance because they have only 2 mana. So dealing 6 damage, please, please. We have nothing else going on. Oh, Solitude. Exciting Witch, Enchanter. So hopefully no Ephemerate. Now what? Okay, we dealt 3 damage to my opponent. It's down to 11. And we can always slow dredge here to hit more Creeping Chills. So there is a chance. My opponent plays a basic Plains. Lay down arms in exile. Oh, okay, March. So we don't have creatures, we don't have lands. Our only chance to win is if we hit 3 Creeping Chills plus drawing 2 lands plus Lava Darts. I don't think we can win anymore. But let's wait a little bit to see what my opponent has from the other side of the table. Ghost Quarter, alright. So this is a land disruption deck. This is like mono white control, and they have Karn. So many removal spells, destroy land. We don't have basics. Oh guys, I think we found our nemesis this league. I don't think we will have the tools to win here unless my opponent... Yeah. Let's wait a little bit more just to have more information. But this is probably unwinnable. Another land for my opponent. They might have another Solitude in hand. Faithless Looting. So whatever we play here with the land, my opponent will destroy it immediately. And now they know that we don't have basics. Wooded Foothills. Do we crack it now? I think we don't have a choice here, guys. We need to resolve this Faithless Looting from our hand. And oh, this is our last Stomping Ground. We have Life from the Loam, but our only hope here is that we'll draw a land and my opponent will not destroy any of our lands immediately. Let's start some Dredgers, but they will probably do that, right? If my opponent's strategy is to disrupt our lands, they will probably hit my Stomping Ground here. Oh, not yet. Okay. My opponent is tapping mana. 2 white mana. Oh, is this that creature that destroys lands as well? No. Crucible of Words. Yeah, my opponent definitely wants to control the game by destroying our lands. We are low on deck, but we were not aware of my opponent's deck. So now for game 2, we probably need to prioritize hands with Life from the Lawn. Yeah, my opponent is playing White Orchid Phantom. This is bullying. We'll dredge here. Nothing great. We have a land. My opponent will destroy lands forever and ever. One more turn, just to have more information. Field of Ruin, alright. Yeah, my opponent is holding removal in their hand, and yeah, we don't need to play anymore this game. Whew. This will not be easy, guys, and I don't think we... Well, we are not favored to win this, but our deck is explosive, we have answers to artifacts, and we have Life from the Loam, so let's think positive. So Lightning Axe is not good here. Collector Oof, maybe, but I'm not sure. Well, my opponent has some artifacts, but Crucible is a static effect, so we need to destroy artifacts and not... My opponent's dangerous activated abilities are from lands, not from artifacts. Well, they have Karn. Let's see if we can... No, I think that's it. Yeah, this is it. At least on the play. If we win game 2, we can re-evaluate for game 3. We have Witherbloom Command, which can be really good if my opponent has cheap artifacts. As Graveyard Hate, I mean. Dark Blast is not that good. My opponent doesn't have creatures. Conflagrate is not that good. 2 removal for artifacts. We are on the play. Without lands. Mulligan. Okay, we have Boseiju. We have 2 enablers, several lands. Let's keep that. I would like to keep Boseiju here. At the same time, I'm not sure if we should. Maybe Blood Crypt is the worst land. Yeah, let's keep Boseiju here, because my opponent plays artifacts, so it's Soul Karn. So maybe they have a Tormod Crypt or Soul Guide Lantern or something like that, and then we have an answer, and we can... Because of that, we'll probably grab a Surveil land on turn 1, instead of casting Faithless Looting. On the other hand, we are on the play, so maybe we should just trust the deck and try to hit what we need, because a turn 2 Burning Inquiry can be even lethal. My opponent had a mulligan to 5. Because of that, I will go for the looting route here, because a turn 2 Inquiry can disrupt my opponent's hand. We would cast a turn 2 Inquiry anyways, but let's try to be fast here. Oh, it paid off. 2 Dredgers. Great. Now my opponent draws 6 cards in their hand. Basic. Oh, Soul Guide Lantern. Ah, and our Dredgers are there. I should have. Yeah, the survey land would be better because my opponent would probably play Soul Guide Lantern anyways. All right, at least we kept Boseiju and now we can destroy Soul Guide Lantern. Oh, my opponent paused here for that. Oh, my opponent decided to exile our graveyard immediately. All right, so now we have life from the Loam. It is probably better to just Loam here, so my opponent's land disruption will not succeed. Blood Crypt, untapped, Loam back 1 land. And now we have a Dredger, and next turn we can cast Burning Inquiry and Loam in the same turn. Castle Ardenvale. We will dredge 3. We have Dart and another Dredger there, so this is good. We don't have lands there, just Dots in Mire that we cracked. I think we'll play slow here, guys. Commercial District, yeah, we don't want Creeping Chill. We can hold Boseiju or cast Loam, and I think it is still best to cast Loam. I don't want to live again that scenario that we lived on game 1. We don't need to get lands destroyed by our opponent's Ghost Quarter and Field of Ruin. Yeah, my opponent had a turn 3 Field of Ruin, but now we have 2 Loams in our graveyard and several lands, and my opponent probably noticed. Yeah, they will just play Crucible and pass. They will not act Field of Ruin because we have so many lands. But this is just a weak place, so I think my opponent kept that 5 because of Soul Guide Lantern, and that's it. We have a Grudge there. 2 Phoenixes. My opponent has 3 cards in their hand. Part of me don't want to cast Burning Inquiry because my opponent's hand doesn't seem that good. They can always have Solitude and things like that, but I think we just need to, right? So I'll crack Bloodstained Mire here to grab another land, thinning the deck a little bit. Now I'll cast Looting from the graveyard. Let's forget Loam for a little bit. Looting plus Inquiry plus Lava Dart will probably be super explosive here. Dredge 3. Another Phoenix, but no other Dredges, but that's fine. We can discard our 2 Loams here and cast Burning Inquiry. It is resolving. Dredge 3. Dart. Dredge 3. My opponent discarded March, Solitude, and Path to Exile. 3 removal spells. So Lava Dart targeting my opponent, and we'll have 3 Arclight Phoenixes. This is not game over because my opponent might have a Wrath of Disguise or something else, exciting effects. But we are favored to win this game at least, I think. My opponent has 4 cards in their hand. An active Crucible. Okay, my opponent is tapping Field of Ruin, that's good. Oh no, they are activating targeting ourselves. But we have lands, we don't need to worry about that anymore. If my opponent is doing that, they are not destroying our creatures, so it's a win. Okay, my opponent is just passing. Or maybe they just want to confirm that we don't have basics in our deck before losing. Let's see if this is the case. We attack, no blocks, yeah, we won. My opponent was just testing us with that Field of Ruin. So we won game 2, guys. There's hope. There's hope, there's a chance. Should we change something for game 3? Again, Collector Oath is not as its best here because my opponent has so many removal spells. At the same time, we didn't see that many artifacts from the other side of the table. Oh, we have Ancient Grudge here. And we have Looting, so we can draw more. Just 1 land, though. If my opponent has a fast Ghost Quarter, we might lose this. But I think this hand is a keep. Is still a keep. My opponent is playing a land. Tapped or untapped? Untapped. Soul Guide Lantern on turn 1. Alright. Land, please. Lava Dart instead. So I think we should play into that Soul Guide Lantern, unfortunately. On game 2, my opponent sacrificed it. Oh, 2 lands. This is good. My opponent sacrificed the Lantern too soon, so maybe they do the same here. Let's discard a Dredger and a Lava Dart and pass the turn. Please, no Ghost Quarter. Oh, just the basic planes. Great. Oh, no creature. Oh, no White Orchid Phantom, please. Yeah, guys. Now if we... And my opponent has a Soul Guide Lantern. How can we win this? Okay, let's think. Let's think here deeply. How can we win this? I think we will draw here. A Thug. I will play my lands here this turn and next turn without fetching. So my opponent cannot destroy our lands. And then maybe we have Grudge to destroy Soul Guide Lantern. Maybe my opponent doesn't have another Field of Ruin. Oh, Ghost Quarter. Forget it. Forget it. Best draw in our deck here is land. If we draw lands, we could draw 3 lands in a row here. Since my opponent's strategy is slow, we could just draw lands, please. Conflagrate. Okay, we'll play Scouting turn and pass a turn. We could cast Life from the Loam here, but I think we need 3 lands to do that. Because if we cast Loam here and then my opponent sacrifices Soul Guide Lantern to exile our lands, and then they destroy one of our 2 lands with Ghost Quarter, we cannot do anything more this game. So let's be patient. We are down to 15. Let's be patient. Please, land on top. Land? Land? Land. Alright. Now we might think here. We have 2 good lines. Cracking 2 lands, casting Loam, forcing my opponent to activate Soul Guide Lantern, or just passing the turn and trying to destroy Lantern. I think I will go for the Loam route here. It's more aggressive, like we are doing things and my opponent is reacting. And then we can hold Grudge for a second artifact. Let's grab 2 Stomping Grounds, since we really need green this game. And I think this is probably too much for my opponent. They will probably crack that Soul Guide Lantern, because all of their strategy relies on destroying our lands, right? And they know that we don't have basics. If they allow that to happen, we will be so ahead. So they need to crack that Soul Guide Lantern, and then we'll have a Loam in our graveyard. Luckily, they don't have a second Soul Guide Lantern. Let's wait to see my opponent's reaction. As soon as we start a turn with 2 lands and Loam, we can get back from this game. Okay, my opponent destroyed there. They have only 1 Ghost Quarter. Luckily, they don't have a second Quarter or Field of Ruin. Demolition Field! No! No. It's the same of a Field of Ruin. So my opponent attacks. They have 5 mana. Okay, guys. Okay, let's see. Can we come back from this? We managed to force my opponent to sacrifice their Soul Guide Lantern. Now they will activate Demolition Field. We have no basics. You, modern player, is this a regular deck, a good deck in Modern these days? Like, people who are actively playing mono-white control with Disruption? Oh, my opponent is not destroying Ghost Quarter. I'm not sure why. Well, we have Life from the Loam. My opponent should destroy our Stomping Ground right here. They didn't. Since they didn't, let's cast the Loam. Why is my opponent thinking? Why they didn't sacrifice Ghost Quarter? I'm not sure. I don't know this deck too much. Alright, now we have lands again. So, this was good. What should we do? We have an Arclight Phoenix there and a Faithless Looting for next turn. I'll just play Artemisa and pass. Yeah, maybe my opponent wants more... Oh, another Demolition Field, alright. So, but now we have a Life from the Loam Train and we have another land. Maybe for some reason my opponent is holding mana. Maybe to exile some creature that we might have. And since we have Loam, they are just not playing around our lands anymore. Let's grab Commercial this. We'll Surveil. Phoenix to the graveyard. We have 2. My opponent is down to 14. We will dredge 3. Looting another Loam is good. We have Artemisa there. Let's cast loot. I think now we don't need to keep Loaming here. We have so many Phoenixes that we should prioritize that. So dredge 5 and dredge 5. Creeping Chill is amazing. 2 chills are amazing. So let's discard Phoenix and Conflagrate. Maybe we could keep Conflagrate here in our hand, because now we want to cast Burning Inquiry, right? I was thinking on the next turn, but we might have the win this turn. Okay, Stomping Ground. I will not be so confident here because my opponent has 4 cards in their hand. They might have Solitude, they might have Path to Exile and another March of Otherworldly Light or something like that. This Burning Inquiry is interesting. My opponent paused there. They might have a Solitude. Dredge 4, Dredge 3. Dredge is good. Yeah, my opponent discarded Solitude, Plains, and Celestial Purge. And we have a Cathartic Reunion for next turn. We couldn't hit Lava Dart, unfortunately. Okay, my opponent created a Human Token. They played a second Ghost Quarter. Oh no. They could destroy 3 lands here. And we are down to 5. We'll dredge 5. Okay, now we have Lava Dart. Now we have the win. We probably have the win here. We have... Oh, let's think here. We'll definitely Loam. We also have Cathartic Reunion, but we have 8 cards in our hand, and my opponent has 8 points of life. So maybe, let's see. Maybe we have the win here. We'll discard our whole hand. And if this doesn't work for some reason, if my opponent casts a Solitude to gain life targeting one of their creatures, they can do that. What? Demolition Field. Then we have some Arclight Phoenixes. Okay, my opponent's tapping mana. Reprieve. So yeah, it is mono-white control. Okay, let's cast Lava Darts targeting my opponent, sacrificing Blood Crypt. And now we'll have 4 Arclight Phoenixes coming back. Can my opponent deal with them? 4 Phoenixes, 12 damage coming in. My opponent has 4 cards in their hand. They need to exile 3 Phoenixes to survive this turn. Now only 2 is okay because, yeah, they need to exile 2 because we don't have Lava Dart anymore. If they exile 2 Phoenixes, they will go down to 1 and they survive this. Guys, I'm excited here. We can win this. If my opponent has a Solitude here, they can exile a Phoenix. But if they tap 5 lands to cast Solitude, they cannot exile 3 creatures. So if they have Solitude, they need to exile 1 other white card from their hand. And having a second removal spell is probably trivial for them. So let's not celebrate. They are thinking here their best strategy. We are down to 5 now. My opponent has 3 points. Okay. What is this? Destroy target non-land permanent. Emergency eject. Alright. So 1 Phoenix down. My opponent has 2 white land Solitude. Oh no. They have something extra, right? No? Okay, we gained some life thanks to Solitude. And my opponent is down to 1. We are winning. We have lethal on board. We don't need to cast a single spell to win this game. My opponent needs to remove our creatures. Okay, they will activate the Demolition Field again. Not sure why. They have 2 cards in their hand. White Arclight Phantom flies, but we need 1 Creeping Chill or Lava Dart to win this game. My opponent is destroying our Stomping Ground with Ghost Quarter. And the other one, finally, alright. And they passed. We'll dredge 5. Creeping Chill, guys. So it doesn't matter if you have removal spells. It doesn't matter. What? 2 white mana? Oh, my opponent was just messing with my mind here. We won. We won. Alright, guys. Round 4. We are on the play. And it's getting cold here. Can we keep this? This is pretty tempting, but we don't have dredgers. So this is pretty slow on the play. Let's try. Because this can work against some opponents. We have more lands. We can grab a Surveil land on turn 1, then Cathartic, or maybe Conflagrate on turn 3. My opponent also kept 7. It's Gargamel. My opponent draws. Secret Foundry. Is this energy? Yeah, Guide of Souls. So maybe Conflagrate is good against my opponent. I'm not sure my land was a keep, right guys? But I'm testing this deck for the first time. Okay, we have a Phoenix. Now we'll draw. Looting is decent, but I think we'll just cast Cathartic here for value. Just discarding Conflagrate, so we can have a Conflagrate active for next turn if we feel this is the best play. Or maybe you can draw Dredgers, and yeah, this is also pretty good. We have Cathartic plus Faithless Looting, maybe Lava Dart on turn 3. My opponent kept 7 cards, so I'm expecting good things for them. I mean, Ajani, alright. So God of Souls, Ajani, classic beginning for my opponent. And now we'll draw. Mana Confluence. Okay, so we have lands. We don't need to worry about lands here. I think I will not even crack my fetch land this game. Let's dredge. 5, 4, and 3. We have a Lava Dart. We have 3 Phoenixes in our graveyard. Let's keep doing that, right? This is a turn that we could just wait to kill my opponent's creatures. But since my opponent kept 7 cards, I think it is better to just do our thing instead. Another 2 is pretty good. Still only 1 dart. So we don't have lethal, but I think we can kill my opponent's Cat Warrior token here. This way, if they flip Ajani, we kill Ajani. And if they don't flip Ajani, it will be harder for them to flip Ajani next turn. Let's see. Let's see if my opponent is paying attention. Okay, they decided to not flip Ajani. And we will attack, dealing 9 damage. But my opponent can gain some life next turn, so they are down to 5, just for a moment. Good thing is that we have lands here, so we don't need to cast Loam after Loam just to grab lands. We can just cast a huge Conflagrate next turn. Naturally, a Conflagrate for 6, if this is enough to win the game. Ooh, it's so cold. Maybe I need another blanket. Okay, my opponent is taking an action. A second Guide of Souls. That's good for them, because now, if they have another creature, they will go up to 8. And if they have a removal spell... What is this? Oh, Halia. I played with this creature in drafts. So my opponent will gain so much life here. Especially if they have some extra creature, land and creature, this turn. If they don't, I think we will just win. They need something else. Lifelink is something scary for... What? Solitude. Okay. So 1 Phoenix down. And now we don't have lethal anymore. We'll go up to 23. So my opponent seems to be more focused on life gain than compared to the builds that I have in my mind. At least Ajani is not flipping yet, but my opponent is attacking. My opponent is not fearing death next turn. They have 2 cards in their hand. Secret Foundry untapped, so they have something. Okay, they are holding removal, probably. Let's dredge 5. Okay, let's think here. I think I'll just attack first, because if my opponent don't remove one of our Phoenixes, we have lethal. Okay, they have Galvanic Discharge. Now my opponent will go down to 7. So we don't have lethal. We are missing 1 Lava Dart. Because of that, what is our best play here? My opponent will probably have ways to gain more life next turn. So this is getting a little bit scary. Is this just a looting turn? So we can try to win next turn? You know what? I think I will work for a giant Conflagrate here next turn. And I'll hold Dark Blast. Because one of my opponent's best plays here would be finding one of their cats to gain even more life and having even more tokens. So let's play around that. Okay, it's not the case. My opponent is just hard casting Guided by Light. So no tokens for them. Not this turn. They want to draw cards. Okay, my opponent is holding 2 flying creatures on defense. So that means they don't feel they can win the game next turn. So maybe we have a chance. We have a giant conflagrate. We can kill some creatures. Maybe we can grab some phoenixes back. So dredge 4. No lava darts, huh? Okay, let's grab some lands with Loam. We have 10 cards in our hand, but I want to play one land. We'll have 9 cards. It's still not lethal. I think it's getting dangerous, guys. I think I need to spend my conflagrate just killing creatures here, because my opponent now is drawing cards with Halia. So let's cast a conflagrate targeting both Guide of Souls, I think. The legendary creature is better with other life gain effects. I think a Guide of Souls provides energy for my opponent. It is probably our best choice here. Also, both of them have flying now. Maybe I should have done something differently in the previous turns. I'm not sure. Later when I'll rewatch this league, maybe I noticed something different that I could have made. So let's discard our whole hand to destroy those creatures and deal 1 damage to my opponent. And I'll pass a turn. Next turn, we can Loam, looting, and finally find a lava dart or maybe 2 to finish this. What does my opponent... Okay, Ragavan for my opponent. With haste. What does my opponent have in their hand? That's weird. 3 cards. Let's block Ragavan, for sure. We are down to 6. A tapped land for my opponent, surveilling. They don't want another land, alright. And now we will dredge 3. Another Phoenix is pretty good. Let's get some lands. Tap, tap. And now I'll cast Faithless Looting to dredge 10. Blood Crypt untapped looks scary because we will tap Mana Confluence for dealing 2 extra damage for us. But I think we are fine. I don't think my opponent has Lightning Bolt. Okay, chill is good. Another. Yeah. Yes. We have lethal. We have lethal. Against the lifelink deck. Lava Dart targeting you. Lava Dart targeting you. Down to 5. And 3 Phoenixes attacking for lethal. Even if my opponent removes 1 of them, we have lethal. GG's. Oof. But this was tough. Not a single easy matchup in the house. All of them. I think we so far in this league we have a 3-0 result and we are winning this round. But I feel like we are having tough matchups. Affinity, energy with more lifelink because lifelink is pretty good against us. But we have tools. I think on the draw we probably don't want 2 commands here. Let's include 2 lightning axes instead. And this is a matchup where I would like to test Surgical Extraction. We didn't see Flage, but if my opponent has Flage, maybe Surgical Extraction is good. And even if my opponent doesn't have Flage, we can always target a removal spell or a creature to speed up our Phoenixes. Even on turn 2, we have, for example, Faithless Looting, Lava Dart, 3 Phoenixes in our graveyard, and Surgical Extraction is a free spell from our hand. So this can happen. Even if my opponent is not playing Flage, I'm not sure. We didn't see a single one. Okay, this is interesting. We have 2 removal spells here. So I think this is a keep because of that. My opponent plays Windswept Heath. They have a Sacred Foundry untapped and a Guide of Souls. We'll kill this for sure. Burning Inquiry is pretty good for the next turn. Let's start with Mana Confluence. So my opponent will not know that we have something. If I just play Blood Crypt untapped, it's obvious that I have a removal spell. So now what? Goblin Bombardment. Nope. Before that, let's kill Guide of Soul. Discarding Extinct Imp. And we have 3 mana. 3 lands, I mean. So let's dredge. We have a Conflagrate there. Dark Blast. Dark Blast is good. But we have only dredged 3, so this Burning Inquiry might not succeed here. We could just play Wooded Foothills and pass. But since we have Arclight Phoenix and 2 dredgers, let's spin the wheel. Draw 3, discard 3. We'll dredge 3. Oh, dredge 5. Phoenix is good. Dart is good. Dredge 5. Okay, my opponent discarded Soul Guide Lantern, Solitude, and Pyromancer. Okay, I'm feeling confident. We unfortunately discarded our 3rd land. So maybe we should actually... But if my opponent was holding Soul Guide Lantern this whole time, can you imagine that? Or if Soul Guide Lantern was the top card for my opponent? So Burning Inquiry was actually pretty good. My opponent plays land, Arid Missa, cracks it for basic planes. Okay, Halia with Warp. The Warping Human Soldier guided by light. Up to 14 life. A Ajani, alright, so my opponent can flip a Ajani immediately. We have Lava Dart here, just 1. So I don't think we can do much here. Especially because we don't have a 3rd land anymore. Yeah, my opponent is flipping a Ajani. Yeah, this game was easier on turn 1. It felt easier, but suddenly my opponent has everything. We have a Conflagrate, but we don't have Loam yet. And if we cast Dark Blast, we would need a 2nd Lava Dart to cast 3 spells on the same turn. So I don't know. Let's grab our Surveil land. Hopefully something good. Land on top. Alright, let's keep it. This way we can cast Faithless Looting to discard this Arclight Phoenix, and hopefully we'll find a second dart. This is what we need to win the game. So let's draw our land. We play it. We crack it. We search for Askanta. No. Let's grab Stomping Ground here. And I'll cast Faithless Looting. We can dredge at least 7 cards here. If we find our second Lava Dart, we can win the game. If we don't, it will be harder. So dredge 4. No Lava Darts. Dredge 5. Good. No Lava Darts, unfortunately. Chill is good. But we'll need to wait one more turn. The clock is ticking. If my opponent has Arena of Glory and Goblin Bombardment, so since they play Seasoned Pyromancer, okay, let's not jinx in this game. We'll go up to 16 and my opponent will go down to 14. All of our Phoenixes are in the graveyard. To win, we need to find our second Lava Dart. 22 cards remaining. Next turn we can dredge 10. No, we can dredge 9, maybe 10. Maybe 14. Yeah, we probably finally find our second Lava Dart next turn. My opponent plays a land untapped. Oh, they are exerting Arena of Glory. That's scary. 3 mana. Yeah, alright. This is nothing that scary. Okay. My opponent will gain more life and draw cards, maybe. Oh, Ocelot Pride. My opponent is holding Pride and Cat, but now they will ascend and have so many creatures. Yeah, they will win with Goblin Bombardment here. Yeah, Goblin Bombardment is pretty good at this stage. This is turn 4 and my opponent managed to put several tokens in play. Flipping a Johnny at will. Yeah. This is a top tier strategy in Modern, guys. Let's concede here. So I don't think Surgicals are especially good. We didn't see Flage or Graveyard Shenanigans on my opponent's side. So let's just re-include our commands. Oh, and now I noticed that I forgot my light here. I have a lamp here and it is turned off. I will turn it on for game 3. Now the light should be better. Okay, this is game 3 and we are on the play. Oh, this is just too slow. Let's mulligan. This hand can be so good if we find another land. We have a Surveil land and Faithless Looting. I think I'll keep it. Let's see if my opponent will mulligan too. We have Lightning Axe, we have several enablers. We can even choose here. Probably Conflagrate will be the bottom card. My opponent also mulligans, and I will keep. Let's put Conflagrate on the bottom. And we'll start slow here with just Commercial District. Creeping Chill, not what we want, but it is always desirable. Let's drain 3 and pass the turn. We need Dredgers, we have only enablers and 1 removal spell. We need something extra. My opponent had a mulligan to 6. They play Sacred Foundry, untapped, down to 15. Soul Guide Lantern, alright. So now... Okay, land is good. Now what? Am I just casting Faithless Looting here? Or Cathartic Reunion to draw 3 and maybe draw Witherbloom Command? Considering this slow start by our opponent, it's a defensive start, I would be delighted here with the Witherbloom Command to force them. Oh no, only lands. Okay. Burning Inquiry is probably not good here since we need to select cards, and Cathartic Reunion is not that good because we need to have something good to discard. So let's keep the removal spell, looting, and inquiry. Arena of Glory for our opponent. Goblin Bombardment, no creatures on site. Let's fetch for Feigning here. Blood Crypt, tapped. And now we draw. Conflagrate, again, not what we want. Let's play Aridimissa. At least we have lands. We need to find a way to remove Soul Guide Lantern. Let's grab Stomping Ground untapped and cast Faithless Looting with Flashback from our graveyard. This way we will not discard 1 extra card from our hand. We will still have... Okay, Phoenix. Maybe the way out of this situation is to just tempt my opponent to crack Soul Guide Lantern. I'll put Conflagrate. I don't want to, but to really tempt them, I think I need to discard Arclight Phoenix. And let's pass a turn. We still have 4 cards in our hand, including Looting, Inquiry, and 1 removal spell. But we are not favored to win this game. My opponent has Sacred Foundry, untapped, down to 13. Yeah, alright, my opponent will gain some life. Ajani, alright, so my opponent will flip Ajani. They have a Goblin Bombardment, they have Soul Guide Lantern, infinite life gain. Okay, guys, this is an even matchup, and if we lose this, it happens, right? I'm still proud of our deck. Let's see. Since we have a Conflagrate there, my opponent might crack Soul Guide Lantern here, because Conflagrate can deal damage even to Ajani. My opponent decided to not crack it, and to not flip Ajani yet. We now have a Witherbloom Command. Ha! The best card to draw here, guys. And I built this deck having this card in my mind since the beginning. So let's destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent, and mill, and my opponent will definitely crack Soul-Guide Lantern in response. Now I think we might win this. We have Faithless Looting and Burning Inquiry here. Targeting Soul-Guide Lantern. Yeah. Nobody expect Witherbloom Command from a Dredge deck. This card is so good. It's so flexible. Okay, my opponent, as expected, will exile our graveyard, but we will mill 3 and maybe Dredger. Okay, we have a Dredger, Dark Blast, which is actually a good Dredger because we can even destroy a Cat Warrior token here. I mean, force my opponent to sacrifice it. So let's grab Blood Crypt if we have this opportunity. And now I'll cast Faithless Looting. We'll dredge 3 and 5. Phoenix is there. 2 Phoenixes. So because of that, I don't think we need Lightning Axe anymore, right? Let's discard Stinkwood Imp and Lightning Axe. Creeping Shield drains 3. And now let's force my opponent to flip a Johnny. I mean, maybe they don't flip, but you see what I mean. Okay, they sacrificed the token. If my opponent flips a Johnny, we'll just kill it. Okay, my opponent decided to not flip it. We'll have 2 Phoenixes. My opponent is down to 4, guys. They don't have Solitude. But they have Arena of Glory and Goblin Bombardment, so let's pay attention here. We have no available spells to us on my opponent's turn. So a Surveil Land for my opponent. This is a good sign. They might not have that many things going on there. They can play Halia, but they need something else than that. We are on a healthy 21 life. My opponent attacks with the Johnny. And we have a Burning Inquiry to resolve. And Faithless Looting. I'm feeling, guys, I'm pretty positive that we might win this. Oh, my opponent has Flage, finally. And they will kill 1 Arclight Phoenix. But I think that means we will have the win here, guys. Oh, they will sacrifice both creatures just to kill our second Arclight Phoenix. But since we have so many enablers here, I think we have the win. Let's play for a win here. Dredge 5. Oh, we just need a Lava Dart to win this game right now. Just Lava Dart, please. Dredge 5. Dredge 5. So we dredged 10. Lava Darts are there. We win, guys. You know what? I will not cast Burning Inquiry here because you never know. Maybe my opponent has Surgical Extraction or something. So let's not give this opportunity to them, right? I'll just cast 2 Lava Darts and get my Phoenixes back. I don't want to put some weird free graveyard hate card on my opponent's hand with Burning Inquiry. I don't think if they have them, but let's guarantee that. Yeah. Arclight Phoenix is here, coming for lethal, and they want their revenge. We won, guys. We are actually 4-0. Let's go for our next round. Let's do it. Last round, guys. I'm so hyped. Let's hope for a good result this. We are playing against a Togatog. Too many lands, right? Let's mulligan. Okay, this is better. This will be a Surveil on turn 1, Cathartic on turn 2, Profit on turn 3 with Inquiry maybe Loam. We are on the play. My opponent kept 7. So let's skip it. Putting, I think, Thug deck actually. I would like to guarantee my third land. So I'll start with maybe. No, let's not be greedy, right? For some moment I thought, well, let's just play Inquiry here, but no. The right call is being Basic Forest, Green Sun Zenith. This will be a Dried Arbor. Is this Yawgmoth? But why a Basic Forest? Okay, let's grab our Surveil land. We don't need another land, so let's put that into our graveyard. And now we'll draw Phoenix. Phoenix is good. Is a second card to be discarded here. So let's discard Phoenix and Stinkwood Imp. We'll dredge 5 and 5 and 5. Dredge 15 with a single spell. Great. We have an Arclight Phoenix there, but 2. Is this so tempting, guys? This is so tempting. We could kill Dried Arbor and get 2 Phoenixes, but then we'll have nothing else. But we have land plus Burning Inquiry to get to our Creeping Chills. Again, this is that approach, like, no fear. Let's go for it. It's turn 2. Can we have a turn 2 win? 2 Phoenixes. My opponent is down to 12 now. Yeah. And let's see if they can recover from that. I don't think so. Yeah, my opponent conceded. That Arbor was pretty important for them. Now let's sideboard. I don't know what my opponent is playing, actually. Basic Forest and Arbor. Is this... Well, it's a green deck, so we probably need to be aware of Endurance. The risk of my opponent having Endurance is enough for me to include Thoughtseize? Not sure. So 2 X's here because this seems to be a green deck with several creatures. Green Sun Zenith, right? But I'm not positive here on including Thoughtseize on the draw. We don't know yet what to take out, what to side out from our deck. So let's keep our game plan with more removal spells. Let's see what's going to happen. Oh, 3 Phoenixes. We had a win on turn 2. Can we repeat that? My opponent kept 7. No, let's mulligan. Well, we have 3 removal spells in our hand. But Conflagrate is probably too much in our starting hand. Actually, let's put Phoenix back. We don't have ways to discard our cards, but Conflagrate can always be cast and then be put into our graveyard. Ooh, Hierarch. Okay, let's kill it, right? Let's deny mana to our opponent again, like we did in our previous game. Bye-bye, Goblin. Ignoble Goblin. Let's see what my opponent... Okay, my opponent has another one. Oh, and that's it? We have Witherbloom Command here. Okay, so let's crack Wooded Foothills. I never played a Dredge deck with so much interaction, Stomping Ground. And we are also so explosive, guys. This is like the future. We are explosive, but we also can be reactive if we need to. Witherbloom Command is so good. So 2 mana, kill this second Goblin Shaman, and we'll grab a land. We have 3 darts. If my opponent keeps playing, we have 3 other lands in our hand. We can kill every X1. Oh no, we cannot kill that. I mean, we can, but we shouldn't, right? 3-2. Well, Conflagrate actually can deal with that. Yeah, actually, you can kill that with a single Conflagrate, and then it's a way to finally discard our Stink. This is so funny. It's so weird. Okay, Conflagrate is in our graveyard. Let's crack Scouting Turn here for another Stomping Ground. And I will cast Conflagrate targeting my opponent's creature. 2 damage on it. Should I deal some damage to my opponent here? I don't think so. Let's keep our 2 remaining lands in our hand. This way, if we hit Faithless Looting, plus Life from the Lawn, you never know if your opponent will play some weird artifact. My opponent is thinking here. Can they save their creature somehow? I don't think so. Okay. Bluff is gone. Another Hierarch. We can kill it. We can kill it. Let's dredge first. Lava Dart, Conflagrate. We have looting there. And Dark Blast. So let's play Aridmisa and crack it for our last Blood Crypt. And I will just cast Faithless Looting. My opponent is holding cards. Maybe it is just expensive cards like Natural Order. No, Natural Order is not valid in Modern, right? Okay, let's discard Stinkweed Imp and Boseiju. I will keep Loam. And I will kill Noble Hierarch. This is the 4th creature that we kill this game, guys. I'm feeling like a control deck here. Oh, my opponent can save it? Aspect of Hydra. Let's kill it with Lava Dart. We have expendable lands here. We have Life from the Loam. I think I'll sacrifice a Stomping Ground here because Blood Crypt can be useful to cast 2 Dark Blasts in the same turn if this makes sense. But we are down to 6 life. My opponent plays another one. Okay, let's just dredge 5 this time, I think. No, because we can always cast just a Conflagrate, right? But yeah, let's keep doing our stuff. I will just try to kill it again. Is this working? We are killing 5 creatures. Yeah. Look at my opponent's graveyard. I did that. I did that. Let's grab some lands here, and this way we are building a huge Conflagrate for next turn. And then next turn we can cast Conflagrate Loam again. If my opponent plays another creature, another larger creature, we can deal with it. So let's Surveil. Dark Blast, another one. We could keep it on top in the case my opponent has something weird like Gravedigger's Cage. We could... No, Gravedigger's Cage, no, Soulguide Lantern. We could save it, but I don't think that's the case. I think we are... Oh, my opponent has Endurance, Exciting Aspect of Hydra. Is this a monogreen deck, right? This is a monogreen deck. So now it's bad because my opponent has 2 remaining cards and we also have 2 remaining cards, but they are lands. Stinkweed Imp. Let's play our Stomping Ground here because 5 lands can be useful. And I will play Stinkweed Imp because my opponent might have another haste creature. Maybe they have another Baloth, or maybe in the future they have the 4/4 Questing Druid. Yeah, my opponent has another 3 Questing Beast. Oh, Arclight Phoenix, let's cast it. If my opponent has Endurance, we can cast our creatures now. Let's attack for 3. We are so behind. My opponent has a Trample creature, and they have those Giant Growth effects. Oh no, another Trample creature. 4/4, and this is a bad one for us. Another Phoenix. Maybe we should play it only as a blocker, right? First game was so explosive, but this is so hard because after Endurance, we're not playing around Endurance after so many turns. My opponent did a good work. Maybe Endurance was a top deck. Maybe they had a super aggressive start, but we had several removal spells. I think it's better to keep Arclight Phoenix back here on defense, because if my opponent has a single instant spell like this, oh, it will probably be lethal anyways, right? This will give +5/+5 to a creature, 9, 12 damage. Yeah, it would be lethal anyways. But if my opponent doesn't draw that either way, I can block throw with 2 Phoenixes. Another throw. Oh no. Yeah, my opponent's hand was probably full of 3 mana creatures, and now we are just drawing lands. I don't think I will play this mana confluence. Let's wait, because my opponent might think that we have a removal spell, and then maybe they will not attack. Atog. Another Hierarch. Okay, so now my opponent can attack with Exalted, but they will not. Okay, they don't have a buff spell. Okay, now we can remove something. Lightning Axe. We cannot attack, unfortunately. This is a battle of top decks at this point. My opponent probably don't want to kill my Stinkwood Imp and don't kill me at the same turn. Oh, my opponent is attacking with the Hierarch? Why? Oh, they have something, right, to buff some creatures. Yeah, they have 2 cards in their hand, probably 2 spells. We can deal with a creature. So I think I will try like this. And if my opponent buffs something, we can kill that. I think this is my first time playing against Mono Green in Modern. Okay, they have Vines of Vastwood, +4/+4. So this will kill us. We need to kill that in response. But this will just turn into an enchantment to give my opponent another creature. So not good. Boseiju can kill an enchantment. Should I do that now? While my opponent doesn't have mana? No, but my opponent will have two enchantments, because the other troll will also die. So I don't think that matters. We need to have an excellent top deck like Faithless Looting, plus Dredgers on top, so we can cast Looting and cast it again in the same turn. My opponent is still super healthy here on 17 life. I need to drink something. Water. Okay, my opponent is paying 2 life to play an untapped Overgrown Tomb. This is probably just to create another 4/4. Creeping Chill is good. Creeping Chill gives me hope. Now we are up to 4 life again. Let's cast Stinkwood Imp purely as a blocker. We have one Arclight Phoenix there, but no ways to grab it yet. And we can destroy one of my opponent's enchantments. Is this good enough to win? My opponent is Hellbent. To win, I mean to hold one more turn, I'm not sure. They need a single top deck to win this. Let's take this opportunity to destroy the other enchantment. And this will give my opponent another land. Oh, they have Dried Harbor. Sure. Can we survive this turn? 4/4. I don't think we are dead unless my opponent has a great top deck. Which is, oh, Green Sun Zenith with Execute. Yeah, this will do it. Another Balef, alright, yeah. This will do it. Okay, we could block here, here, and there. No, it will always be... yeah. No, it is little. Let's concede. Okay, let's go to our final game, guys. This is huge. This is a trophy game. We will be on the play. My opponent has Endurance. I don't think my opponent will keep any hand with Endurance. I think they will probably need mana to do all of their spells, and creatures are huge. So again, I'm not sure if I should play defensively here without Seizes. I think we probably have the advantage being on the play, especially because we have so many removal spells. Darts, Dark Blast, Command, and Axe. All of them are good against my opponent's deck. But let's pay attention to always have something extra in our hand, instead of going all in like I did in the previous game. So yes, I would like to play first. Let's mulligan. Not good. Not great. But we have all of our colors of mana, and we have Loam and Inquiry. One Dark Blast can be good. Let's keep it. My opponent kept 7 cards. So I'll play Artemisa and I'll pass. This probably needs to be a black mana, unfortunately. But my opponent will probably have an X1 creature on turn 1. Wooded Foothills, cracks it. 4. Basic Forest, yeah. So let's kill it, right? At the end of this turn. My opponent cannot save it. Blood Crypt. Dark Blast targeting the Nubble Hierarch. And now we'll dredge 3. Okay, we have Loam there. Let's play Boseiju as a land. And let's grab some lands so we'll have 2 Loams there. If my opponent wants to cast Endurance, we can rebuild with our Dark Blast and Stinkwood Imp. So far so good. We have lands, we have spells, we have dredgers. We still don't have payoffs. My opponent plays a fetch land, cracks it, 6 cards in their hand. Oh, Keen-Eyed Curator. So we cannot play around Endurance anymore with this card in play. We need to do our thing and hope it is enough. We cannot kill it. We don't have Lightning Axe in our hand. So let's think for a moment here. Should I cast Loam and Inquiry and maybe Lava Dart in the same turn to get some Phoenix? This way I will have more lands in my hand. Maybe this is my best chance to not discard cards that I don't want to discard. If we just cast Faithless Looting with Flashback here, this will give my opponent so many good chances to do whatever they want to do. We could cast Inquiry here and try to be lucky to try to reach a removal spell, but this is so sketchy. Let's try to win here. I mean, grab some Phoenixes, and then my opponent will need to spend their mana to do something. And if my opponent has Endurance in their hand, maybe they will just discard it with this Burning Inquiry. Let's cross our fingers. Okay, Dredge 5, Dredge 4, no payoffs yet. Okay, 1 Phoenix, 1 Dart, and Dredge 3. This is our last chance, guys. Creeping Chill is good. My opponent actually discarded Endurance and another Curator. 3 creatures, so we have 2 Phoenixes. Let's sacrifice our Blood Crypt. And now my opponent needs to take care of several cards in our graveyard, but we also have 2 Flying Phoenixes in the air. And we have lethal with that Conflagrate, so my opponent needs to exile that Conflagrate. If they don't, we win. They are cracking their fetchland, so they are down to 7. We have 2 flyers. I don't think this deck has so many removal spells. This deck probably just wants to protect their own creatures. This is an aggro deck. Green is not famous for its removal spells. So what will... Okay, my opponent will exile our Conflagrate, smart. We can always just cast creatures here to block and keep attacking in the air. Okay, my opponent is exiling our Dredger. Guys, I'm so hyped. We can actually win a trophy here. My opponent is choosing. They can play a creature or exile something else. Oh, and we can cast Dark Blast in our upkeep, targeting my opponent's creature just to keep dredging. Maybe you can hit a Lava Dart or a Creeping Chill. Yeah, my opponent has nothing else. Okay, guys, we can maybe win here. Let's cast this targeting my opponent's creature. Now we have a Dredger again, and we'll Dredge 3. It worked. It worked. We won. We won in our first attempt with this beautiful deck. JUND Phoenix Dredge with Witherbloom Command. Look at that, guys. Okay, I'll have a quick break and let's talk a little bit about our deck before finishing this wonderful video. So, guys, deck is pretty good. Better than expected. At the intro, I told you that I was hoping for a great result because I am confident on this new strategy in Modern. But I am not a Modern expert, so I was figuring out that this deck should probably be good, but I wasn't expecting to trophy on my first attempt with these 75 cards. So keep in mind that this is still new and this can still evolve. This is my first time playing JUND Phoenix Dredge. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know here in the comments. But I'm so intrigued by that this is probably my main choice to play in Modern right now, and I will keep playing it in the next few days. Because of that, when this video finally goes live on my YouTube, I probably already have a sideboard guide for this deck on my Patron. So check my Patron page, patreon.com/thedredgeguy. And please let me know your comments here about this deck. Hopefully you are also an enthusiast like me. This is it. See you soon here on this channel for our next Modern video or Legacy video, or who knows, maybe Standard. See you soon. Bye.